Another big concern around the state is low testing and failing grades in schools.
Educators and parents alike have zeroed in on these as students are faced with an unprecedented year due to the pandemic. Tonight, I continue my conversation with the newly elected state school superintendent and what has to be done between now and the end of the school year. The reality for educators and parents is that many students will not be where they should be at the end of the school year, which means standardized test scores could be lower. Federal guidelines require 95% of students be tested.
And so we have a problem because parents who have opted to have their children have remote learning for the rest of the year are now being told your child has to come into school to participate in safe and secure testing. And I fully understand why parents are very upset by this.
As Catherine Truitt becomes the new state school superintendent in January, she plans to ask the U.S. Department of Education for a waiver so that North Carolina can avoid sanctions if we don't reach the requirement.
This is not a time when we need accountability to be punitive against teachers. We do, however, need to test students and assess them so that teachers and parents know where their kids are, where are their deficits, where did they do well.
Truitt says her department will also be working with the state legislature to create testing and accountability guidelines geared toward this time of crisis.
That is where my head and heart are, is that whatever we come up with needs to be what's right for students.
67% of 8th graders in the state don't read or perform math proficiently, a number likely to increase due to COVID. There is a worry as to how many students will be held back and have to repeat their grade. Another challenge for educators and Truitt.
Are there some tools we can make available to the entire state, to all of the districts that can help sort of mitigate the learning loss that has occurred specifically in math and reading?
And while Truitt's term doesn't begin until next month, she's already working on these issues as well as meeting with district school leaders and superintendents.